Well, Donald Trump has probably not read much Foucault, but he appears to embody the French philosopher's claim, as some analysts argue, that politics is the continuation of war by other means. Nowhere is this more apparent than in his fondness for tariffs. He presents taxing foreign imports as a way to rebuild the American economy, as you've seen with his latest announcements, in favor of blue-collar workers left behind by free trade and globalization, as you've seen from his remarks on the matter as well. Yet, some argue that it seems he plainly thinks that politics is not about truth or justice, it's about leverage and supremacy. But Donald Trump has listed the high tariffs charged by India on American products as he announced reciprocal tariffs on countries across the board, declaring a 26% discounted reciprocal tariff on India, as I have mentioned. The US president said the United States charges other countries only a 2.4% tariff on motorcycles. Meanwhile, Thailand and others are charging much higher rates, like 60%. India charges 70%, Vietnam charges 75%, and others charge even higher rates. But as he announced these tariffs, he held up a chart that showed the tariffs that countries such as India, China, the United Kingdom, and the European Union charge, along with the reciprocal tariffs that these countries will now have to pay. In fact, we're going to pull those visuals up of you, of Donald Trump holding those tariff charts up. That chart indicated that India charged 56% tariffs. In fact, my team will just pull those visuals up for you. The chart that he was holding up indicated that India charged 56% tariffs, including currency manipulation and trade barriers, and America would now charge India a discounted reciprocal tariff of 26%. Well, for further clarity on the India impact, we have with us at the moment Asif Iqbal, President, Indian Economic Trade Organization, and also the former consul government of the Republic of Suriname. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us as always. India has been a significant beneficiary of trade with the US. It's no secret. So how might the new tariffs disrupt this trade balance? And what long-term consequences could this have on Indian businesses, sir?
Thank you. Probably now I feel that our tariffs that we have got is not as much as compared to what you look at China, because our total trade is 124 billion. And, our exports have reached around 81 billion, whereas the imports are only 44 billion. So we are in a safe side, which is a trade surplus of around almost 37 billion. But, it is not as bad as we think, because it is not a generalized tariff effect on India. It's only sector specific, especially for the automotive and the IT. These are the two sectors that can mainly be affected. But apart from that, in general, it is not as much as, if you compare to other countries that he has imposed upon. And, if you look at it, our security concerns, they are not going to be as big as they seem to be. So I think we are in a very safe area this time.
But sir, Trump's comments that India has been tough on tariffs raised questions about the future of Indo-US relations as well. So would you argue that this tariff increase could escalate tensions between our two nations, or will it prompt more collaboration on trade reforms?
No, you see, Mr. Trump has very clearly said that, the Prime Minister is a great friend of his. So he's trying to make it look very personal and trying to keep it very balanced in a way that, the tariffs are there. The Prime Minister is a great friend of his, but at the same time, he has to impose this tariff. So that itself gives us a kind of balance, because he has not said this to any other country. He has not said this to China, Korea, or any other country, or Germany, but he has said this specifically with India. So it looks like a very soft approach. That he wants to keep it balanced and keep India also in line with all other countries, but at the same time giving that very soft touch that he has given it for India. And he's already clearly mentioned the Prime Minister is a great friend of mine, which clearly says India is a great friend of US, and these tariffs are just temporary.
Keeping that in mind, what role do you think India's diplomatic ties or diplomatic channels will then play with the US in negotiating to reduce these tariffs? Is there space for compromise? Or would you say this is a major setback currently for India's trade policy?
The Ministry of Commerce in India, they have been evaluating several possibilities based on these, tariff disparities and specific types, of various countries.
In fact, what I feel back and forth from the US as well.
Yes, and we've also been in discussions with local industries to address these non-tariff barriers that can that can affect their exports to the US. And India has also expressed our willingness, to order more tariff cuts on more than half of US imports worth almost 23 billion. And that will be a very big concession in years. And I think we look forward to a very positive, kind of approach to this particular tariff announcement.
Mr. Iqbal, before I let you go, What specific steps should India then take to mitigate the adverse effects as we speak of these tariffs on its economy? Should we look for alternative markets or diversify our export portfolio?
Well, we already have, some response coming from the neighboring country like China, saying that India, they are ready to buy more goods from us. That's a very kind of a collateral benefit that we have, that many neighboring countries and many other countries nearby will start, building and deepening their relations with us, which is good for the Indian, economy and the Indian exporters.
Right, well, we'll wait and watch how this entire impact unfolds. As you know, Donald Trump has said that Narendra Modi is a friend, but has also criticized the very high tariffs that India has imposed as far as US goods are concerned. Mr. Iqbal, thank you so much for joining us on NDTV.
Thank you.